Hello everyone, Raul Luna here, founder of Level Up Now Academy, where we take you to the next level today, and that starts here today, all right? Not a month from now, not a year from now, not on New Year's, not on any specific day, but let's do it now. Your present is your only moment that you have currently, all the time, that you can make decisions, that will impact, that will alter your future, right? So anyways, I'm excited for what we're going to cover here on episode 2 today. And go ahead and write it down, is doing more than what you're currently getting paid for. Doing more than what you're getting paid for. For me, it started when I was little. I remember, I remember seeing my father once in about an 8-year period. Even though I was born in America, I was raised my first 8 years in Mexico. Then we came back, and I remember that the only thing I wanted to do was actually be together with my father. And he would bring me to his job, to his work. I guess his boss didn't mind it as long as I was helping, obviously doing something, right? So I was doing the pizza boxes. I was putting them together, and I wasn't being compensated. But I would always see my father, work, and I noticed that he wasn't getting compensated either for what he was doing. He was getting paid, but I guess he wasn't getting really paid what he was worth, And I remember asking him, I always see you busy and always wanting to do more, but I don't see that they're paying you for everything that you're doing. And his answer was stunning to me. He said, I do it because I want to make sure that I'm feeling good with myself. He said, if the boss doesn't see it, it's okay. Someone else will. And that someone else is the customer when they leave me a tip. And it was very stunning because even though he wasn't being, paid for what he was doing, at least on a fair way, he was really making it up on a tip basis way. And that's when I remember obviously getting that philosophy of doing more than what you're getting paid for, because one day you're gonna get paid more than what you're doing for it. It's interesting philosophy. Put it some thought. It is very interesting because I remember, reaching an age, of 15, 16 years. And I remember that then my family had a restaurant that they had recently sold to someone else, that for the very first time I was gonna get to experience not working with a family, but working for someone else. And I remember that I wanted it to become a mechanic back then. And I would go to every single mechanic shop back then. And I would tell them, I would say, hey, listen, I'm willing to work for free. Go ahead and test me out on what I'm able to do and how fast I'm able to learn. And, if you don't see value in me, you don't have to pay me. That was my entire pitch. That was my sort of aggressive entire pitch. And I remember going through every single auto mechanic shop, and I would get rejection after rejection after rejection. And it was very interesting because in points of rejections, if you're not strong emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you could easily just start doubting yourself. And it wasn't until somebody else connected me with a gentleman who was paralyzed from half of his body. He knew a lot of repairing autos, and he was wise on how to do fixing cars and things like that. But his legs, unfortunately, were not operational. And I will still remember until his day. He's named Robert. A friend of mine told me, well, you need to call Robert. He's he's the one that, he's going to be able to help you, and I think he'll hire you, or he'll put you into he'll give you a job, or he'll give you work, or whatever, right? And it was interesting because I called him up. He says, okay, meet me next Monday. I met him next Monday, and he told me, what can you do on cars? I said, listen, I don't have the experience, but I got the hunger, and I'm willing to learn, but I'm willing to step it up and do it absolutely free. If I don't, if I don't level up, in other words, if I don't, come up and meet your expectations, listen, you don't have to pay me. And I guess he liked it. He said, Raul, go ahead, come to work tomorrow. And, I started working with him. And I will never remember that he started paying me from the very first day. From every car that we would get fixed, he would tell me how to fix it. He would guide me on how to do it. I will get it done. And then when the customer would pay him, and all this work was being done on his house and his garage, basically, that's how he supported his family, that's how he supported his children, his wife. And yet it was very impressive to see how a person that has the right mindset may not have any other aspect of his body fully functional, but as long as you have a mind that is fully functional, you're going to be able to provide and beyond just what is needed, way beyond. I saw it. It inspired me, and after doing probably about 27 attempts on going to every single shop in my little town and getting every single rejection, guess what? Finally, I was able to find Mr. Robert through the recommendation from someone else, and that's how my journey started, basically on the auto repair world. Why am I sharing this story? Because I want you to understand that when I started with him, we would share the profits 3 ways. But they were small profits, but something was something, and we're talking about, it's over 20 years ago. And literally, as I was there pretty much since 5 in the morning. We will finish by 5 p.m. I would make probably in the entire day, I would maybe make about $50 the entire day, because at the beginning it wasn't easy. And guess what? It eventually came to be where I started making some really serious income, because at the beginning I was doing more than what I was being paid for. But then later I was getting paid more for what I was doing. I came to learn that later on. As a kid, I was not aware of it, but I adopted it because I saw my father doing it. And I guess we become, monkey see, monkey do. We become who we are surrounded most of the time. Later, I read it in the book of Napoleon Hill, which is, the famous book where is Think and Grow Rich, that says that specifically. There's one chapter that specifically talks about getting paid. Doing more than what you're currently getting paid for. Powerful. Wanted it obviously to share it with you. Put it to practice. Just understand that at the beginning you may not get paid for what you're getting, or you may not think that you're getting adequately paid, but understand that if you're willing to go all out, massive, consistent action, eventually you're gonna get paid for more than what you're currently doing. But that's not gonna happen until you're willing to go all in first, with no excuses, without stopping and starting and stopping and starting, because otherwise you will not give the enough time to create the momentum that is needed. So congratulations for watching this video. Pretty excited. Go ahead and leave your comments, and we'll get to see you in the next video, in the next share on episode number 3. Have a great one.